Section 1.2.2, the Oracle. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good rotation of the earth. May the peace of the Holy Spirit be with you. Welcome to the World Crown's Oracle section. A guru mind control myth is that a soul in need of help can't go directly to the Holy Spirit. You can have a relationship with your Holy Spirit. Welcome to the Oracle section at the World Crown. My first education of the Oracle was not in the Catholic tradition. I grew up in Southern California Christianity and Catholicism, and all talk of things not of Christ were frowned upon. The Oracle was classified as paganism by the status quo when I was growing up. The status quo made sure to associate paganism with Satanism, which was very irresponsible. Paganism are the simple beliefs of a barely educated country folk far removed from a proper education. As a young man, I read the status quo information about the Oracle, which stated that the Oracle of Delphi's temple was built on a place where gas came from the rocks. According to the status quo, she would sniff the gas, become intoxicated, go into a trance, and prophesy. According to the status quo, the Oracle at Delphi was kind of like an indentured servant, a far different image than that painted at the Sistine Chapel. My better education of the Oracle was taught to me by the Holy Spirit, who used the oracles in the Sistine Chapel as the main examples. Thanks to a better education guided by my Holy Spirit, I have since outgrown the stereotypes that the status quo places on things for occult reasons, and now I mistrust the information of the status quo. News and information remain in a state of emergency. All things are affected. Welcome again to section 1.2.2. Like a real oracle, the kind we see in the Sistine Chapel, I minister before the Holy Spirit. I pray for you who long to know the presence of your Holy Spirit, your Creator, and add my prayers to yours. Seek your Holy Spirit with an authentic character, and look always to the inner life, one filled with prayer and communication with your Creator. The Oracle is part of our religious heritage in various nations, and not just Greece. An oracle is a religious channel, a person totally committed to ministering before the Holy Spirit to gain insight in order to teach and provide wise counsel to the people, and even prophesy. When things get out of hand and faith becomes corrupted in any segment of the human condition in any part of the world, a man or woman can be chosen by the Holy Spirit to minister to the people, usually before a judgment of God is made public. If every holy book in existence went totally cult, our Holy Spirit could still break through to us, using oracles, preachers, and prophets chosen among yourselves, just before another return of man or woman. The ministry of man and woman represent the highest public ministry of the Holy Spirit, above and beyond all religions and government. The word oracle comes from the Latin verb orare, which means to pray to the Holy Spirit for instruction. Then speak to the people what the Holy Spirit has said. In the Christian video featured just below from St. John's Cathedral, Oban, we see a glimpse of how oracles might have ministered in ancient Christianity. Since the Holy Spirit does not contradict its highest ministry, oracles must be careful to be in touch with the right force, as opposed to forces which regularly look to take over a relationship with God's Holy Spirit. If an oracle, minister's, or priest's relationship is with the God of their religion, and that God is completely disconnected from the world crown, clergy need to seriously re-examine their spiritual connections with God and fine-tune them. That can be accomplished by prayer, meditation, and reading or public ministry and presentation of the judgment of God. Oracles have ministered in all the main branches of religions, only they are sometimes called priests, prophets, priestesses, elders, sages, etc. Oracles are vessels of the Holy Spirit. Women have again returned to being ministers in greater numbers. Women make very good ministers. Blessed are them who minister before the Holy Spirit, for they shall be filled with good words, with much wisdom to answer any question.